Hey everybody, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz, TGIF, and happy Friday. Big breaking news that we're covering today in this follow-up video. You may have heard, likely you've heard by now already, that BitMEX has been indicted by the CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. This is in the US, of course, and the markets have been taking a tumble. We're going to take a look exclusively at this write-up that summarizes and encapsulates everything done courtesy of Deepika on altcoinbuzz.io. Let's first take a look at the markets. I'm recording this in the late AM on Friday here. We've seen maybe a slight recovery. However, I think it's still too premature to label it just that way. Right now, we're down currently 4.2%, so negative 4.2% today. $339.1 billion is the total cryptocurrency market cap. Interestingly, altcoins have taken the brunt of this hit. You see that Bitcoin is down 3% in these last 24 hours as a result of the news, but many other projects up higher single-digit percentage points, and a couple further down the list down even double-digit percentage points. Take a look, for example, at Ethereum. Polkadot down 9.6%, Chainlink down 9.4%, Bitcoin SV down 8.6%, Cardano down 9%, Monero down 10%. And look, many examples here, too many in fact to list and to go through, but many of the altcoins have been bleeding more than Bitcoin, which is interesting as an observation, isn't it? Bitcoin's price right now, $10,525, with a Bitcoin dominance right now that has risen slightly as a result, ironically, of all this, 57.4%. Okay, let's launch right into Deepika's article here. BitMEX, one of the top 4 Bitcoin derivatives exchanges, has been charged by the CFTC and arrests have been made. The market, of course, is reacting to the news as we just saw. This is really breaking inside of the last 24 hours or so. So the Bitcoin derivatives exchange BitMEX is in hot soup. They're in trouble. And according to a statement by the United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission, let's call that the CFTC going forward, BitMEX is facing charges for operating illegally in the United States and for violating anti-money laundering regulations. What's interesting is that BitMEX is not the only exchange out there that is kind of abiding by a certain set of protocols. And that's what's interesting. Check out a poll that we released earlier today, guys. We ask if you are at all concerned about these indictments, because if the CFTC were to press further, like I'm saying, BitMEX is not the only exchange out there that is abiding by this certain set of regulations. Deepika continues, CFTC has filed a civil enforcement action against BitMEX owners and operators. The official statement released on the 1st of October reveals that CFTC will take action against 5 corporate entities and 3 individuals, including Arthur Hayes. According to the action filed by the CFTC, the exchange should have registered with the CFTC before involving U.S. residents. So along with that, BitMEX should have, according to the CFTC, established programs to ensure that it was not facilitating money laundering in any form. And according to the prosecutors, the executives of the exchange were aware that U.S. residents were using the platform, and they deliberately chose to skirt the requirements. You may recall Arthur Hayes in the past almost jokingly, in a very cavalier kind of fashion, joking about him not quite abiding by the full set of regulations that the CFTC would normally lay out for similar exchanges, albeit outside of the crypto space. He was kind of nonchalant about it, and unfortunately it's coming back to bite him in the behind. And the numbers that we're discussing here are pretty massive. According to the CFTC, BitMEX provided leveraged trading services worth $1 trillion and earned over $1 billion as trading fees since 2014. However, it failed to adhere to the basic compliance procedures such as Know Your Customer KYC and anti-money laundering AML procedures. And in addition to the restitution, the CFTC has also demanded civil monetary penalties and permanent trading bans. The commission has now charged Arthur Hayes, Ben Dilo, and Samuel Reed, the owners and operators of BitMEX. According to the latest update, Reed was arrested on Thursday morning, and the rest of the executives still remain at large. And now we are in the midst of the fallout that the entire cryptocurrency sector has entered following the announcement, following this breaking news. Deepika writes about it and refers to it as a circus. As soon as the report surfaced, the crypto space turned into a carnival, in fact. Yes, a circus. This is because BitMEX sits on top of about $2 billion worth of Bitcoin in their vaults, which includes both user deposits and liquidation funds. So following Reed's arrest, specifically the exchange, users started panicking because BitMEX withdrawals are 3/4 multi-sig. So this means if two founders are out of commission, the Bitcoin withdrawals will actually halt. And normally BitMEX allows users to withdraw only once a day. However, in an effort to kind of temper the panic right now that is setting in with a lot of its users, they're making an exception and they're allowing users to withdraw their BTC beyond that regular withdrawal frequency limit. Here, according to Whale Panda on Twitter, we have purportedly some communication from BitMEX that is corroborating this bit of journalism here that we just discussed. So, hi, so-and-so. Obviously, this is blurred out to remain anonymous. Your withdrawal of X amount of BTC to the following address has been sent. You may track it on the following block explores. Here's what's interesting, and here's, I guess, the added part here to the text. As you may know, for the security of our users and our platform, BitMEX manually reviews and signs offline multi-sig withdrawals once a day at 1300 hours UTC. For more information on our security practices, you can see our security page. At the time of this press publication, the market was actually reeling. It was a little bit lower than it is currently at the time of this recording. So again, at the time of press, things were a little bit more dire than they are currently at the time of this recording. Bitcoin, as Deepika wrote this article, was sitting at $10,497. As a refresher, right now it's up barely more than that, but up a little bit more, $10,525. Let's just see in case that changes. We'll do a quick refresh here. Up even higher, again, modestly, almost negligibly, but $10,534. So we haven't dropped any further since the time of press. However, yes, right now we're still down multiple percentage points in a day. Imagine, Deepika writes, the state of the market if BitMEX had not lost its market share to Binance, OKX, Huobi, and many more other such exchanges. So I guess I could say here, my opinion is that the diversification of offerings, the diversification of exchanges out there is, in a sense, a hedge against any one such shutdown by whether it's the CFTC or another commission. And I think Deepika is expressing the same sentiment here. It's good to have multiple options out there, competitors that are facing off against each other, because in the event that one is compromised, one is, shut down, or maybe even one is hacked, you never know. In the event that we have, those negative circumstances that emerge, the others remain there to support the weight of the rest of the sector. According to the data shared by Glassnode, more than 23,299 Bitcoin were withdrawn from BitMEX addresses in just an hour. Here is the tweet itself from Glassnode. According to our data, last night, more than 23,200 Bitcoin were withdrawn from BitMEX addresses in a single hour, about 13% of all Bitcoin in their vaults, the vaults of BitMEX, that is. This is the largest hourly Bitcoin outflow from BitMEX we've observed so far. Again, 23,200 Bitcoin withdrawn within an hour, the largest hourly Bitcoin outflow in BitMEX's history. And it seems as well that open interest on BitMEX is dropping. I guess not too surprisingly here, Deepika continues. According to cryptocurrency analytics platform Coin Analyze Tool and Arcane Research, users are closing their position on BitMEX, and this is leading to a drop in open interest. Since the CFTC announcement, the open interest has dropped 16% and has touched 45,112 BTC. Hear this tweet by Arcane Research from yesterday, the 1st of October. The dramatic impact of the CFTC announcement becomes clear when zooming in on the hourly open interest data from the XBT-USD perp. The last hours has seen the OI open interest of the XBT-USD perp measured in Bitcoin fall by 11%. Thus, traders are definitely closing their positions on BitMEX. And I guess not too surprisingly, people are concerned, and perhaps at least to a certain degree legitimately so. We'll see what happens, of course, but let's be honest, this is not a positive development. And according here to the crypto trader and influencer Scott Melker, in the past 6 months, 3 people who claim to be ex-BitMEX employees reached out to him specifically. Again, this is at his word, but we'll hear what he has to say. These 3 people requested Scott Melker to contact the CFTC to report some issues, but it turns out that he never did. In 2019, Scott tweeted that BitMEX cannot be trusted given that it has faced failed stop-loss measures and system overload in the past. Here is the tweet specifically. In the past 6 months, I have had 3 people who claim to be ex-employees of BitMEX reach out privately and tell me that all of my assertions were true. All 3 told me to contact the CFTC, which I never did, because they would be investigating BitMEX. Seems they were telling the truth. Now, look, we can't exactly take Scott Melker at his word here. Not that we distrust him, but this is a developing story, and his example is a personal anecdote. Let's see how things unfold here. There are some reports, however, that suggest the CFTC was investigating BitMEX for a long time, and perhaps this is more than just breaking news. Look, it remains breaking news to us, but this has been developing and unfolding probably for quite a long time, in the neighborhood of several months, most likely. That's because the commission speculated that the U.S. residents were using VPN to use BitMEX while it was formerly banned in the US. Guys, we've only just begun covering this story. To learn more about the trouble that we're now getting into with BitMEX and what the executives face, again, Arthur Hayes and company, in terms of the latest indictments. We'll stay on top of this. We'll deliver the news to you as it unfolds. Check out our previous coverage. Check out Frank's video, which was released earlier today. And be sure to let us know what you think about all of this in the comments. Are we overhyping things? What's interesting is that in our latest community post, as you can see here, we just conducted a poll. A full 80%, or just shy of 80%, 79% of you feel that, this is not necessarily a big deal. And 3/4 of you, just about, 4/5 of you, so even more, are pretty much not concerned about these BitMEX indictments. Let us know your thoughts about that. We'll link to this poll in the description below, guys, if you want to sound off. But give us your opinion. Let us know your thoughts. Maybe there's another perspective that we're not considering. Feel free to share your voices and your opinions in the comments below. But that about wraps it up for today, guys. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Number 1, go ahead, like, subscribe, share if you enjoyed the video. Number 2, best of luck, of course, if you choose to invest. And number 3, stay safe out there. The president just came down with COVID, as did the first lady. This is another crazy development that I suppose we're following. Doesn't quite so much overlap with the world of cryptocurrency. But let's see. All that to say, guys, stay safe out there. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.